All right, welcome back. This is going to be part 106 in my presentation on dinosaurs and man. And we are going to continue right along with this block here of soft tissues that have been found in dinosaur bones. And so if you'll look on the screen here, we're going to go over some of the things that they have found in some other dinosaurs. Now, the picture that you see over to the left here came from a Triceratops. It says Schweitzer, now that's Mary Schweitzer, and her colleagues found branched and tapering blood vessels. Listen to that, guys. Found branched and tapering blood vessels that remain springy. Here we go, guys. 65 million years after the animal died. Here, two likely red blood cells are seen with a possible blood vessel. It looks like it to me. Okay, the next one is a Brachiolephosaurus, a duck-billed dinosaur. Now, they dated this one at 78 million years old. That's older than what they said that T-Rex was that they originally found that had the soft tissue in the thigh bone. They said that the team found highly fragmented, though still pliable blood vessels containing pigmentation and possible red blood cells. And so that looks like what that looks like to me. Now it goes on here and says, when she was asked about her reaction when she realized what she was looking at, that was that soft tissue, Mary gave this response. Yeah, it did sort of blow my mind. It still does. I spent about 3 weeks saying I couldn't be seeing what it looked like I was seeing. I kept looking at them over and over, and I would get goosebumps. I kept thinking that there had to be some kind of mistake, and I had my technician repeat the studies over and over and over with new chunks of bone to be sure we could get the same results. Back in the lab, Schweitzer and her technician demineralized the fragments by soaking them in a weak acid. As the fossil dissolved, transparent vessels were left behind. Here's what she says. It was totally shocking. I didn't believe it until we'd done it 17 times. 17 times. There you go. There's your observation. There's your repeatability. That is what we call science. And so the pictures up above there, some of those pictures, guys, take a look at that. 70 million years old now is what they're saying. Now, what is interesting is that now this right here ought to be should have been a really red flag for them, is the smell. Is the smell when they were excavating dinosaur bones and stuff like that. She said once when she, Mary Schweitzer, was working with a T-Rex skeleton harvesting from Hell Creek, she noticed that the fossil exuded a distinctly organic odor. It smelled just like one of the cadavers we had in the lab who had been treated with chemotherapy before he died. She says, given the conventional wisdom that such fossils were made up entirely of minerals, Schweitzer's was anxious when mentioning this to Horner. This is Jack Horner. But he said, oh yeah, all Hell Creek bones smell, she says. To most old line paleontologists, the smell of death didn't even register. To Schweitzer, it meant that traces of life might still cling to those bones. I don't understand this. Even these folks that were digging in this area, and they smelled decaying matter. It just didn't dawn on them that, hey, you know what? This could be coming from these bones. That right there should have been a light bulb. Now, if you guys remember the video that I posted on Facebook from my Facebook people, you should have seen this on my Facebook and Rumble. I did post this, and so you guys should have seen this video. Now, for my YouTubers, I do have it in the soft tissues and dinosaur bones Soft tissues and dinosaur bones. I have a playlist just for that, and you guys will see this interview with Mary Schweitzer. Well, she mentions collagen, mentions finding something that looks like collagen in dinosaur bones. And what we're doing is we're going to look at that real quick. We're going to look at collagen because it's really interesting. That's about that statement that she made. Now, this is what I did is I took this slide here from my microscopic world presentation, and these are some notes on proteins. Humans have an estimated 30,000 different proteins. About 2% have been described. Now, the collagen would fall under your fibrous proteins, which is fibrous tissues is what we're looking at, and so you got collagen, keratin, and fibrinogen, and those and muscle proteins that was fall under your fibrous proteins, and collagen is one of those. Buried bones does not offer some type of idyllic setting for protein preservation. On the contrary, it offers a host of factors that will accelerate degradation. Many of the tissue-bearing fossils have been found in Hell Creek Formation. As part of their critique of the discoveries, Buckley, and then they give you the year 2008, note that at the time of the dinosaurs' burial, using standard geologic dates, Hell Creek would have been a megathermal environment greater than 68 degrees Fahrenheit, resulting in a collagen half-life of only 2,000 years, guys. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, that would fall right in line with a global flood, not 70 million years plus for some of these animals that have been found in this area. Now, Brian Thomas, a master's in biotechnology, he has a PhD in paleobiochemistry, joined the Institute for Creation, ICR, Institute for Creation Research, which is ICR, as a science writer and speaker. This is what he says about collagen. Collagen could not last for millions of years unless stored in liquid nitrogen all the time. We're looking at minus 320 degrees. And yet, secular fossil experts describe collagen in fossils they place at more than 150 million years old. Collagen in fossil bone is real. I've literally seen it in the microscope and confirmed it with other techniques like Raman spectroscopy and physical extraction. These two realities, the presence of collagen in fossils and its too rapid decay rate, exclude millions of years for fossils and thus for a vast rock layers that hold them. And so, again, it's not going to last. The collagen is not going to last near that long, but following along with that biblical timeline and the timeline for the biblical flood, it does follow for that timeline. And so there would be no problem for it lasting that long. Even as amazing as it seems, guys, the science does not collaborate collagen lasting for 70 million years. It just don't. Now, according to a 2011 article, an experiment established that at around 50 degrees Fahrenheit, only 1% of the original collagen in a bone sample can survive longer than 700,000 years. 700,000 years in an optimal environment. It's a tad hotter than that in Hell Creek, where Schweitzer's soft tissue was recovered. Now, collagen, how long would it last? Now, here's some dates and some temperatures that you guys can note down. The dates given for collagen preservation varies. If kept at 32 degrees, it'll last 2.7 million years. If kept at 45 degrees, it'll last for 1 million years. If kept at 50 degrees, it'll last for 180,000 years. If kept at 68 degrees, it'll last for 15,000 years. Where the thigh bone was found in July, the temperatures are between 60 to 72 degrees, depending on the area. In January, the temperatures are around 6 to 24 degrees, depending on the area. Mitochondrial DNA could last no longer than 650,000 years. Now, where they found that at, it would fall more or less along that 15,000 years, which is closer to the biblical flood, which was only about 4,400 years ago. And so, again, there's no problem with that being found. And so, again, there's just no way. There's just no way that you're going to get collagen to last that long based upon the science and what they've observed with it. And so, okay, we're going to stop right there. When we come back, we're going to look at some other things that have been found in dinosaur bones. But I hope you guys are learning something, and I hope I've been able to enlighten you on this topic. And so that's what this whole thing is for, guys. And so, we can talk about dinosaurs and man all day long, but we need to get down and show the evidence of what has been found in science, secular and Christian science. And so we need to find that out. What has been found? What is some of the evidences that we can look at? And I've tried to point that all the way from the beginning all the way to where we are now. What's in scriptures? What have they found in secular science? And some scientists that are Christians, what have they found? And so a lot of people think that that if it has any type of religious overtone to it, or that if a scientist has a religious view to it, that it's not true science. And so science has to be observable and it has to be repeated. And so it's something that you can view, that you can see, you can test. And so, but at any rate, guys, we'll talk more about this as we go along. There's still some really neat things to show you. But you guys take care. I love you, and I hope the Lord blesses you real good. Bye-bye.